You might have heard micronutrients referred to as vitamins, minerals, and there's actually a third category that you don't hear about too often called phytonutrients. Now, we're not going to dive into each one of those terms specifically, but in this video, we're going to really dive into a couple of micronutrients that you should probably be either aiming for in your food or secondarily supplementing in your diet so that you can ensure that you are ready for weight loss. Welcome. My name is Trevor. I'm a registered dietitian who specializes in sports performance as well as weight management. Welcome back to the Weight Loss Series, episode 3, where we're talking about micronutrients. Last episode, we talked about macronutrients and how they help you determine whether you're going to lose fat or other lean tissue as you're losing weight. If you haven't checked out episode 1 about calories or episode 2 about macronutrients, they will be linked in the cards above or at the end for you to check out. As always, if you have any questions as we go, put them in the comment section below so I can answer them as soon as possible. So what are micronutrients? Let's break down this word. Micro meaning small, nutrients meaning something our body needs to live and thrive. If we put it together, micronutrients are nutrients that our body needs to live and thrive in small amounts. Typically, we're measuring these amounts in things like milligrams, micrograms, or even as small as nanograms. You might have heard as micronutrients referred to as vitamins, minerals, and there's actually a third category that you don't hear about too often called phytonutrients, which are just nutrients found in foods that don't fit in the vitamins or minerals category, but they still help your body to live and thrive as well. A couple good examples of phytonutrients are anthocyanins, found in berries, or chlorophyll, found in green leafy vegetables. Now, it's important to realize that micronutrients do not provide energy to our body, although they may be used in energy-producing processes. So they're still important in providing us energy, but they themselves are not providing the calories like the macronutrients are we talked about last episode. Everybody knows you should be eating your vegetables, but why are getting in our vitamins and minerals so important specifically? Now, there's way too many benefits to talk about between all micronutrients, but let's talk about the benefits that are important when it comes to weight loss. Just a few of them include keeping us generally healthy, reducing the risk of injury, improving muscle function and the ability to build muscle, and insulin sensitivity. Now, we're not going to dive into each one of those terms specifically, but in this video, we're going to really dive into a couple of micronutrients that you should probably be either aiming for in your food or secondarily supplementing in your diet so that you can ensure that you are ready for weight loss. Now, there's a very important distinction to know when we're talking about micronutrient intake. Having more micronutrients isn't necessarily better unless you're deficient. Deficiency means you have less in your body than your body needs to optimally function. If you've ever heard the phrase boost along with something related to your body, for example, boost your immune system, it's important to know that micronutrients do not boost your immune system, but they do support them. This is an important distinction because it's not like micronutrients give you any superpowers, but if you don't have enough of them, you are really limiting yourself. The first micronutrient I want to focus on is a vitamin that most of us know as the sunshine vitamin, vitamin D. Now, I know we've all heard that vitamin D is extremely important and getting out in the sun is vital to our overall health. But let's talk a little bit more about vitamin D. Vitamin D is involved in so many processes in your body, and in reality, we don't get a lot of it from food. There's only a couple food sources, and there's some things that we probably don't eat a ton of. The best source of vitamin D is cod liver oil, which I'm sure most of us are not consuming daily. But one that we may consume more often is salmon. And after that, a lot of foods don't provide a lot of vitamin D. Things such as milk, soy, fortified cereals, and orange juice, they provide a little bit, but they're really not enough to support all of the needs that we have in a day. The best source really is the sun, and you may be at greater risk for vitamin D deficiency if you have a darker skin color, if you live above the 42nd latitude, or if you're often wearing clothes or sunscreen covering most of your skin the times that you are in the sun. For most people, you want about 15 to 30 minutes in the sun with your face, hands, arms, and legs exposed with no sunscreen between the hours of about 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. I know that's oddly specific, but that's the actual recommendation from the National Institute of Health. One thing that I like to do, and depending on the client I'm working with, is supplement with vitamin D. It's extremely cheap and really easy to get. A good idea if you feel like you could be deficient is to go to your doctor and ask for a vitamin D test. Depending on the results, they'll be able to either prescribe you vitamin D, or you can go to the store and pick up some vitamin D for yourself. Vitamin D is extremely important for a couple of things that we really want to focus on here. Number one is mood. If you're not in a good mood, then you're probably less likely to do things like exercise or make healthy food for yourself. Number two is muscle function and the ability to build muscle. If you're limiting yourself there, it's gonna make your weight loss journey a lot harder. Number three is bone health. If you get injured, it's going to be really difficult to work out or to do other activity through the day. The fourth is sleep. Sleep is one of the most important things when it comes to weight loss and especially fat loss. So take some vitamin D if you think it's affecting your sleep as well. The next micronutrient is a mineral that many people don't get, and it's also really hard for us to know if we're deficient because the blood test for it isn't that great. This mineral is magnesium. Many people are deficient in magnesium because it comes in things that we don't eat a lot of. The best sources are pumpkin seeds or chia seeds. Other sources include other nuts and seeds as well as spinach. Magnesium is involved in over 300 reactions in our body, so it has a really wide breadth of benefits for us as well. Magnesium is really easy to find in stores and it's also pretty cheap. You have to be really careful here though. A lot of forms of magnesium are also used as laxatives. Two forms commonly found in stores are magnesium stearate and magnesium oxide, which even at low doses can act as a laxative. My favorite form to recommend is magnesium citrate. It's really easy to get, but you gotta be careful as well. There's a bottle form sold that is used as a laxative. If you find the pill form that comes in about 250 milligrams, you may feel some laxative effect, but the chances are pretty low. There are other forms that are better absorbed, but they're a little bit more expensive, such as magnesium bisglycinate. A good way to test magnesium out is to take it and see how your sleep changes. If it improves, then maybe magnesium is a good mineral for you to supplement with. If you see no change or you find that you eat a lot of the foods that provide magnesium, then you probably don't need to supplement with it. If you're feeling hyped up about micronutrients like never before, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm so my videos can get to other people who may need this information. The third micronutrient is another mineral that I think people don't get enough of, and there's a lot of misconceptions around. Now, before I say what it is, I want you to think of a vitamin or mineral that you think you need to take when you get sick. Was it vitamin C that you thought of? This is very common because vitamin C has been touted in the media and society as almost a cure-all when it comes to sickness. And that's true, vitamin C can be very helpful, but really the studies show in the first 24 hours. And you probably don't know you're sick for the first 24 hours. So by the time you feel symptoms, it's probably too late to take vitamin C. Plus, vitamin C is really easily available in our diet, so you probably don't need a supplement with it. What I'm talking about here is zinc. Zinc is pretty hard to get in our diets, the best source being oysters. I don't know how many of you are eating oysters regularly. Maybe if you live by the beach. Other good sources include other types of shellfish, meats, beans, and fortified cereals. But this is another mineral that we just don't seem to get enough of. Zinc is another mineral that's really easy to find and pretty cheap. But you gotta be careful with this source as well. Zinc oxide also has some laxative properties, although it's not as readily used as a laxative such as magnesium oxide. Zinc is very important because it's part of an enzyme called superoxide dismutase, which is just the name of a very important enzyme in our immune system that battles off foreign invaders. Having enough zinc in your diet to support your immune system is important because if you're sick, you're probably less likely to do things like be active, exercise, or make healthy food. Good forms of zinc include zinc acetate or zinc gluconate, which is typically found in zinc lozenges. Now you may be wondering, well, Trevor, why don't I just take a multivitamin and get in everything? Well, there's a couple reasons. First off, the type of vitamins and minerals that are in multivitamins are typically the least absorbed forms. Secondly, some vitamins and minerals interact with each other before they get absorbed, decreasing what's called their bioavailability, or your body's ability to digest and absorb them. Also, the proportions of vitamins and minerals in them may not be right for you, and some of them even contain a lot of fat-soluble vitamins. Fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K can be stored in your body and even cause toxicity if they're taken in too high amounts. So how do you know what vitamins and minerals you need? Well, the best way is to go seek out your doctor or a dietitian, get some blood tests done, and let them tell you what is most important for you. One of the most important things about a weight loss journey is finding other people on the same path and joining up with them to create a support group. That's why I've created a Discord channel. The link is in the bio below. All you gotta do is click on join and say hello. If you found anything in this video helpful, please share it with a friend or family member who may need this information as well. Next video, we'll be talking about nutrient timing and how when you eat your meals and fuel for exercise can improve muscle retention and improve performance. Don't forget to hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe so you can see my next video as soon as it comes out. So stay tuned.